This is the Goin to the Endzone podcast.
Welcome to this week's Goin to the Endzone podcast. As you can see, we're here at Sullivan checking in with the Golden Arrows, Jack Burney, Nicole Christine. We're joined by Sullivan head coach Mike Caton. Coach, thanks for taking some time out of a busy week prepping for Southmont to talk to us on this week's podcast.
Sir, it's no problem.
Obviously, you guys, wrap up the regular season 5-4, getting ready for sectionals, looking to go on a run. Just tell us a little bit about Southmont. What makes them, tough to beat, and also, what are some keys for you guys to put yourselves in the best position to win on Friday?
No, I mean they run the ball. They run the ball very well. They're big up front. You got a really big running back. Quarterback's good. I mean he can do different things out there. He can get up out of the pocket and throw when he needs to. He likes to run. He likes. They'll run a little bit different style offenses. I mean they can run right at you, right down the middle. They get outside on the option and stuff, and to do some things in the pass game. So I mean, it's I think we just got to play defensively solid like we have all year. Read our keys and fly around and make plays.
You're going into your second sectionals as a head coach. What did you learn from last year that you plan to implement, and just overall, what did you learn in your second year in charge of the Golden Arrows?
Well, I mean, one thing is you got to finish.
Yeah.
And we came up short last year. And tell the kids every day. I mean, it's the little things that you got to do. You got to take care of the football. You got to limit the turnovers. You got to work to create them. I mean, you got to tackle low. You got to wrap up. I mean, you got to make plays. As much as you possibly can. And you got to have a lot of fun out there. I mean, you got to fly around. You can't be uptight. You can't be uptight when you go into this postseason. I mean, you got to be relaxed. Trust what you've done in your practice and games. Throughout the season. Just go out there and compete.
Yeah.
Coach, obviously, you guys have had some ups and downs this season. You get off to that 2-0 start, that incredible game against South Vermillion. You guys come back that Monday, you win in double overtime on that game-winning kick. Then you lose 3 straight. But recently, you've won 3 out of your last 4 going into sectionals. Just how important was that stretch for you guys to, kind of get that confidence back going into the playoffs? And also just how important is it, you guys coming off a big 48-0 win, you've won 3 out of your last 4 to be playing your best football going into sectionals?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge, whenever you can, come off of, those losses, to come back and get back on track, to have those 3 in a row to win. I mean, you always want to be winning when you go into the, the postseason. That was our goal. After we took those losses, those were, some of those games were right there, right there with them. Just some fundamental mistakes. But we had that big win at South Vermillion. And, we took those, those 2 losses and then got back on the right stretch with the 3. But yeah, I mean, going in, I told them after that, I mean, it's, we got to go undefeated from here on out going into the postseason. We were lucky enough to, accomplish that, and, we just got to get prepared for what we got to do Friday.
We talked to 2 seniors, Seb and Seth. Jack sat down with them, and, they both had so much to say about this program. What have the seniors this year meant to you and the program, and what have they given back? I
mean, they meant a lot, I mean, these kids I've coached for a long time,
right.
A lot of them since they were little, back probably in middle school. But, I mean, they're good, they're great leaders. I mean, they're great kids in school. They're great kids in the community. They do a lot of things out in the community as well. But, I mean, it's meant a lot to me to be able to coach them, last year as juniors, and, to be seniors this year and step into those roles as captains and such, and to be able to lead the team and, and do some of the things that we've been able to accomplish. I mean, we're sitting right where we were last year, the same schedule going into the sectional at 5-4. So, if we can make a run here and, get back on track and take a shot at this title.
Coach, obviously you talk about those seniors, but you also have a lot of talented young guys. Blake, he's starting quarterback as a sophomore. You have a lot of talent coming back. Just how big is that of a luxury for you guys is that as a program, knowing, okay, we have these talented seniors kind of, teaching these young guys the ropes, but knowing that they're young guys, getting big-time moments and big-time games right now?
Yeah, I think last year, we had like 12 or 13 seniors. This year we only got 8. I think 4 or 5 of them are starting out there. So we got a lot of young guys playing football, which is really good. We got a lot of sophomores playing, and it's a good experience for them. We knew that coming into this season that we were going to take some lumps just because of the inexperience of playing, at the next level to varsity. But yeah, it's going to be great moving forward, just because of the simple fact of all those repetitions that they've got at the varsity level, and looking forward to seeing how they finish this year, and get them into that sectional post play. And can compete and, get them in the weight room in the off season, and you'll have all those guys coming back. So that's always a good thing.
So Sullivan football, what do people, when you talk about these youth sports, these youth athletes that you've coached in the past and now you see them coming up, what can they expect when they're joining a Golden Arrow squad? Again, going into your second sectional, 2 years under your helm, what can people expect about the Golden Arrows if they want to play for this program?
I mean, it's a lot of excitement here. One thing that you got to expect, we're going to work. We're going to come here every day and we're going to work. We're going to work in the off season in the weight room and get ourselves put into position to be successful. You know, we've been able to, you know, get a couple guys, Tyler Vaness and Justin Bell and Jason Jones that helps coach, that have been able to, you know, do all of our lifting in the off season, and we've seen tremendous improvement in that. But I think there's a lot of excitement. We can thank the youth program and all those coaches down there, because, you know, out there at the big youth facility, they got lots of stuff going on that filters into this program. They've done an excellent job of that, of getting those kids ready for that. They get excited. You know, we had a bunch of them in the last game, the youth, you know, line their helmet and run out. But I mean, you're going to see, I mean, if you come in here, it's going to be competition. You know, you're going to earn your spot. I mean, you're going to work, and, you know, you're going to work to, you know, get us over this hump, you know, of getting that, you know, another sectional title. But a lot of fun and a lot of excitement. I mean, it's a great program. It's a good thing to be a part of.
Absolutely.
Yeah, obviously you mentioned, you know, how special this program is, but obviously we know the Sullivan community is special. They really care about, you know, their sports teams and, you know, supporting these local athletes. Just year 2 for you as head coach, just how special has it been coaching, you know, not only the Sullivan program, but also, you know, the community buy-in as well?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's nice for me to be able to actually work here too, you know, as a general manager for facilities. But the community buy-in to our program and all the other sports is just tremendous. I mean, it always has been for years. I mean, the things that they pour into supporting us, you know, daily, and getting behind us and traveling to games, and I mean, it's just great. I mean, every day you see something different. I mean, just from the parents' involvement of doing laundry on the weekends, to having providing the lineman meals, to providing the team dinners. I mean, it's a tremendous buy-in, and truly our team, you know, myself and our team are truly appreciative of it.
Obviously, I mean, Coach, you survived our interview. Are you ready for the question box? The random questions.
Oh, it's so much fun, and you get to go first.
One random questions, you know, just pick out a question.
Well, I'll answer them, so don't worry. It's not just you.
No pressure, but
I do better than Grant, and I'll have to, like, throw it back or whatever.
Yeah, well, I had to do that one time too, but it was me, yeah. Thanks for bringing that up.
Is it ever okay to lie?
Wow, that
seems like a really, I don't like that one.
No,
let's do a different one. That's not fun. I don't know.
We'll shout out Luke on that one.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
But no, it's not.
This one's pink. This one's got a lot of writing.
Ooh, I might have written that one.
I definitely didn't use the pink pen, so.
We had this. You guys had this one last week, I think. Would you?
Hey, we appreciate you watching.
Hey, I watched. I know you were playing.
Gosh.
Someone said the spelling.
All right.
Coach watches the podcast.
Somebody's picky over here.
If you could choose anywhere to live and nothing changes about your life,
Ooh.
where would you live?
Okay.
Don't be corny and say here. We know we love Sullivan too, but where would you want to go?
Man, I don't know. I've lived a lot of different places.
But so nothing about your life changes. You know, you're still coaching football. You know, where would you want to go? You know, want to be on the beach somewhere or something?
No, I think I'd rather be up somewhere cold.
Okay.
Maybe like Kansas City or somewhere like that.
Nice.
There you go. That's a good football town, obviously with the
How about you,
Chiefs.
Jack?
Nothing about my life changes. I don't know. Part of me wants to say go back home to Cleveland, you know, cover the Browns and all those teams. But I'll say, like, you know, I'm kind of like a big city guy, so I'll say not New York. I'll say Boston. I feel like it's a good sports town.
Boston is fun.
There. I went there a couple summers ago, got to visit Fenway. It was really cool. So I feel like covering sports there would be something pretty exciting.
I think I do love the warmth, but I love Lake Michigan too. So I might say Lake Michigan up on the lake, just like a nice, pretty lake town.
There you
but
go. Not bad.
But I do like the warmth too. Maybe I'll have a summer home and a winter home. You know, they didn't say you couldn't have two places.
Let me get a good one here. Hopefully not one we've had already. All right, let's see. If you had to eat fast food from just one place for the rest of your life, where would you pick?
I don't eat much of it.
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A, yeah.
Good answer.
Chick-fil-A.
I was kind of leaning Chick-fil-A or Cane's. I'm a big chicken guy.
What's your Chick-fil-A order?
Usually nuggets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nuggets. I like their macaroni and cheese.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
like
yeah.
the
Really
best
good.
lemonade too. I don't know.
They
what
do.
to it.
Have you had their frosted lemonade?
No.
Oh, it's
That's something I gotta
delicious.
try
Okay,
now.
put that on the to-do list.
Chick-fil-A sauce. You eat it too?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
You got it. You can get that in like an 8-ounce at Meijer.
I know.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Something wrong with that.
Oh
You
yeah.
guys are teaching me
Great
something
choice.
new every day.
Oh
All right,
yeah.
Nicole.
All right. You said Cane's or Chick-fil-A,
Yeah.
right? You like chicken. Okay. All right. You can have one superpower. What are you choosing? I want to fly. That way
Really?
I can get places and I
Go on
I can
vacation
go
a lot.
anywhere I want
Yeah.
and I don't have to pay for a plane ticket or be in a plane.
Coach.
I think I'd have to be invisible.
Ooh.
Invisibility is a
sneaky.
great answer. I don't know. I feel like kind of like teleporting. Is that a superpower? You know, kind of like you, but less work.
But even faster?
I like snap my fingers and boom, I'm on the beach.
Yeah, I
you
want
know,
some
something
really
like that.
cool wings though. I could just see you sneaking up on people. You're just invisible, and then all of a sudden just turn the thing off. Anyways,
Exactly.
thanks so much, Coach.
Oh yeah,
It's been fun.
That was our question box.
Good
Coach.
luck this weekend.
Thanks for joining us in this week's podcast. We wish you guys luck against Southmont and hopefully a deep sectional run.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
All right, that was Coach Mike Caton. Our first segment of Going to the End Zone podcast. We'll be right back with a couple of Arrow seniors right after this. Welcome back to this week's Going to the End Zone podcast. Special thanks to Coach Mike Caton for joining us in that first block. I'm here now joined by two Arrow seniors, Seth Pirtle and Sebastian Ortiz. Guys, thanks for stopping by. I know you guys got a busy week preparing for sectionals, but thanks for taking some time out and talking to us on the podcast.
Yep. Thanks for having us. Yep.
Yeah, so obviously my first question, you guys are both seniors, just what would it mean for both of you guys to, kind of go on a little run here in these playoffs, going out on top, so to speak?
It would mean a lot to me, A couple years ago, my freshman year, we won a sectional, but we didn't get a chance to prove it. So if we get a chance to, get to that championship and prove it, it'd be really great.
It mean a lot. I mean, we fell up short last year in the sectional championship to Linton, so getting one this year would feel nice, being a senior and all.
Obviously, I mean, you guys are two leaders on this team, two senior leaders. Just what are kind of your leadership styles? Obviously, you guys are going out, you guys are going to graduate, but also, trying to, build this winning culture and, kind of lead these young guys, so to speak, as well.
I'm not really a big vocal guy out there, but I like to, let all the young guys try to watch me and lead by example so they can continue that path and keep going.
Yeah, kind of like he said, I try to be vocal, but it's hard trying to get them going, but I try to do my best.
You guys are obviously, you guys both play both ways. Seth, I've seen you take a pick six to the house. I've also seen you bring in 40-yard touchdown passes. And obviously, you play both the offensive line and defensive line. So for both of you guys, what is more fun? I mean, I never played football, but I love watching football. So what is more fun? When you're dominating, going down the field on offense, blocking, catching touchdowns, or is it when you're just shutting a team down defensively?
I'm not to go with shutting the team down defensively because it's just demoralizing to them. You shut them down, you take all it out of them.
I'm gonna have to go offense. I mean, just getting a nice pancake, letting them know you're there.
And then obviously, you seniors, you guys are graduating. Just, I mean, what has it meant to you guys to play for this Sullivan program? I mean, it's a special community, it's a special place. I mean, just what has these last 4 years meant to both of you?
It's meant a lot. It's been just really good time to be out here and play with all these friends that you go to school with, and to play for this community, it's pretty great.
Yeah, I mean, it's been great. We have a good culture. Coach Caton's doing a lot to help us get better every day, and we all enjoy it out here.
Now, shifting away from football a little bit, kind of like game day routines. Is there like a specific pregame or postgame meal you guys both have to eat? Or is there like a song, you got to play this song before the game to get hyped up? What are your kind of game day routines for both of you?
Pregame routine, really. It's either I got to get Subway or something like that to eat before the game. And then like pregame song, is either up in like some Little Baby and something like that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mine, for me, just being a lineman, I'll eat about just anything, so it's all right with me. And I like me a little Gatorade with it, so it's a pregame for me.
Seth, this one's for you. I mean, we went to KZ Westfield for the podcast last week, and they taught me what a dolphin high five is. Do you know what a dolphin high five is?
I do not.
So it's basically you go like this and then a high five. That's their go-to touchdown celebration. So someone who scores a lot of touchdown, what is your go-to touchdown celebration?
We just go for the chest bump mostly.
There you
That's
go.
just
Simple,
get up there.
classic. Yeah, obviously gets the job done. Well, guys, good luck the rest of this season. You guys have had great careers. We've enjoyed covering you guys these last 4 years, and we hopefully get to cover you guys for a long playoff run.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
We'll be back with more Going to the End Zone podcast right after this. Welcome back to this week's Going to the End Zone podcast. Special thanks to Coach Caton and the Sullivan Golden Arrows for hosting us this week and joining us on the podcast. Nicole, it's time for sectionals. Sectional football, playoff football is here. It's a new season. Obviously, Sullivan is competing in one of the most competitive sectionals in the state.
Yeah.
We're going to start with Linton. I mean, 2A number 1 Linton. They get a big 63-6 win on Saturday. They're rolling. They've won 7 in a row heading into sectionals, and they're looking to make a deep run to semi-state like they did last year, maybe even further.
Yeah, and they've got North Knox, and they obviously shut North Knox out a couple weeks ago. So I think that this is going to be an opportunity for Linton to have, I won't say by any means an easy first week in the sectionals because North Knox always comes to play, but I think this will be an opportunity for them to maybe, keep it a little slower this week and then get ready and ramped up because as you said, these sectionals and these brackets are really, really intense. And so you want to make sure that if you have a game the first week that maybe isn't as much of an opponent or isn't as strong of competition, that you come out and, don't wear yourself out in the week 1 because you want to be ready for those other competitions. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's a good game, but as we know, Linton and North Knox were a little unmatched last time. I don't expect it to be a ton different this time, but North Knox, of course, coming to play at home.
Yeah, North Knox will come to play. I mean, Linton beat them 40-0. I believe it's September 29th, so only like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But
maybe revenge is in the air. Who knows?
And when it's tough to beat the same team twice. So I think North Knox, they kind of know all Linton's wrinkles, but Linton knows all of North Knox's wrinkles. So I think both teams will come out with their best shot, and we'll see who comes out on top. But the Miners are tough to stop.
They sure are. And I know the Northview Knights, we've been talking about them. We visited them several weeks ago, and they have a rematch of their own against Brebeuf for the sectionals, a team that they've seen in postseason before. Yeah, they lost to Brebeuf last year in the sectional, so I know that, Coach Rates is going to have these guys fired up, and they're going to be fired up because of how last week went. I mean, they had a chance to win the conference. They lose on a last-second field goal. I mean, obviously, that's a tough pill to swallow for Northview, but they're very talented. We know the running game. We know Kyle Kotze. We know Tyler Lee. I just think the defense is going to be the biggest key against Brebeuf. I saw Brebeuf play Terre Haute South. South won that game, but it was a lot closer than it could have been. Like, South should have won that game by more than 7, which is what they won by, because South let Brebeuf back into the game. They let up these big plays. Northview, I think they can score on Brebeuf like South did. Obviously, Northview played South, and that was a close game, too. They just can't give up those big plays. They got to, get out to a lead and sustain that lead, not let Brebeuf get back into the game. Back to that loaded sectional we were talking about, Linton. South Vermilion, the Wildcats. I mean, what a season they're having. They lost that week 2 game to Sullivan. They haven't lost since. I mean, they win 48-0 against Attica for Coach Barrett's what a special thing for that.
Congratulations to Coach Barrett. They win the outright conference title for just the second time in school history. They're rolling too, but they got a tough matchup against Cascade.
Oh, Cascade is not going to be an easy opponent, and I think that South Vermilion, they have only gotten stronger as we've discussed week after week on the podcast after that heartbreaker against Sullivan. What a good game that was. And we could potentially see a rematch against Sullivan and South Vermilion. We'll get to Sullivan's matchup in a second. But I think that, coming off of that high of winning and having that title and that 100th win for Coach Barrett, so exciting for him. I think that this team is ready and polished for sectionals. And I wouldn't be surprised if we were seeing them match up next week and talking about them for another week after after Friday.
Yeah, Sullivan, obviously we're here at Sullivan, so
Yeah.
we won't touch too much on the Arrows, but
Right.
we'll talk about them a little bit. But they've got a big-time matchup against Southmont at Southmont. You know, we talked to Coach Kate and some of their players. They're worried about that Southmont running game. They
Yeah.
have a pretty big running back, so they're going to have to stop the run. But I think if Sullivan can, you know, just play their game offensively, it was a nice confidence-boosting win, I think. They went 48-0 against West Vigo
Yeah.
in the last week of the regular season. Quarterback Blake Fraker, 4 touchdown passes. Scoring 48 points, you know, kind of winning 3 of your last 4, playing your best football going into sectionals. I think that's what Sullivan hopes they're doing.
Well, and Coach Caton said that it's really important in his eyes and for his team that you go into postseason relaxed. And I think talking to those 2 seniors, Seb and Seth, they seemed relaxed. They seemed, you know, ready for whatever opponents are coming their way. And I think Southmont is going to be a challenge for them, but I think it's one they're definitely going to answer. And I think it's good to have that commanding last win of the year that they just got, and then kind of be able to just relax a little bit and be ready and be competitive, but go into it and have fun, like Mike said that he wants them to have. So I know we're going to have fun on Friday.
We are definitely going to have fun on Friday. Thank you for watching this week's Going to the End Zone podcast. Special thanks to Nicole, Sullivan Golden Arrows, Luke, Kobe, everybody. I've been Jack Burney. We will see you guys Friday night for some sectional football action.